All right, everybody. You know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. And welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the minister, Jonathan Simmons. And we thank God for those of you who are jumped in to join us here on another broadcast of the Real Talk Sports Show. So we broadcast to you for those who are listening to us or watching us on Tuesday night, live here from just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, at our studios. And for those of you who are watching or listening on the replay, we say thank you, and thank you. Remember, for those of you who are checking us out on YouTube for the very first time, you know what to do. Bang, subscribe, and hit the bell. Bing, and it'll let you know when we are having our next broadcast. Remember, guys, we also do live high school football on Friday nights and some Thursdays and Saturdays, depending on the schedule. So please follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. We appreciate it. Like I said again, if you are on YouTube for the very first time checking us out, please subscribe. We appreciate it. We are inching ever closer to that wonderful number of 1,000 subscribers. We're now, I believe, at 962. So we'd love to have you guys push us over the top and get us to the 1,000 subscriber bracket. So please, ma'am, please, sir, you know what to do. Like I say again, subscribe. When we do this show, I always like to bring on one of the most beautiful ladies in the world of sports talk, radio, or TV. We simply call her the Queen. Tree Dolman's back in the building. Tree, welcome back.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everybody.
What's up? How you
What's
doing?
up? Doing well. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. A big start to high school football. Unbelievable week start. Now, of course, we weren't able to cover the Corky Kell Classic this year, but for those of you who are not from the Atlanta area, the Corky Kell Classic, the official kickoff for the high school football season. Not one, not two, but 11 high school football contests starting last Wednesday and running through the conclusion. 4 games starting at 10 a.m. and concluding at 10 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So, yeah, it was big time high school football going on. And then down here in Clayton County, we had games Thursday night, games Friday night, games Saturday night. Thursday night kickoff game was at the brand new, I shouldn't say brand new, I guess it opened up last year before last, the Morrow High School Stadium in Steel Road. Tree is pretty nice.
Oh, nice.
Brand spanking new, uh, whole brand new athletic facility, brand new field, brand new track, and really, it's they've done a good job in Clayton County. So shout out to them. And then, of course, the game we always do. We do the Friday Night Lights at Terra Stadium, and it was very interesting. We had a sudden storm come through, 25-mile-an-hour gale force winds,
Wow.
unbelievable rain, people running out of the stands because there's no cover. Our camera guy, fortunately, making a mad dash up before the rain really came, and we were actually in the stadium for about another half an hour because the rain was so hard I couldn't get the equipment into the car. So it was, yeah,
Wow.
definitely very interesting. But like I said, it's football. So great start to the football season. Great start.
Yeah.
So
Football
did you do
season.
anything exciting this weekend, ma'am? Anything breathtaking or breaking news?
I'm just always working. I had a wonderful time with my dad. That's about it.
Okay, well, listen, that's always good. Always good to spend time with dad. My daughter left me by myself. She said, "See your dad." She wants to see a friend of hers, but I live with her, so I get to see her all the time. As you know, it's always good when your parents are kind of around. So good stuff, and glad you were able to spend time with him. Yeah. So true, we're gonna do
Yeah, I see my father every day.
every day. That's right. That's right. And it's really, I will say, being a father of a daddy's girl, it's good to have you guys around. I love it. I love it. Well, speaking of children, we're going to do something in just a little bit. We're actually going to bring on some of the young people on today. We look forward to having young Mr. Corey Ware and his brother Caden Way, excuse me, Wade, Waye, and they're going to talk about what they were doing down there. Ola Caden is they got that new title now. I think they call him ATH athlete. That's Caden. He's a two-way guy, but this year he's been playing primarily safety. So want to have his brother actually interview him on air. Hopefully they'll be logging on shortly, and they can talk about their big win in their opening game. And then later on in the broadcast on our community segment, we're going to bring a young lady of the name of Kirsten Johnson, and she was a part of the gymnastic team, the first ABC HBCU gymnastic team to make hay in the NCAA tournament. So look forward to having them on as well. All right. Speaking of the young guns, I believe the Way brothers are in the building. Let's go ahead and check. I see them in the green room, and let's bring them up. Gentlemen, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Well, I'm gonna let you kind of take over here. These two brothers are doing some great things. I know their dad is a former college sports broadcaster, and I think his son is looking to kind of follow through. And of course, his other son, Caden, is still playing right now at Ola High School. And I think you guys jumped out of the box with some fire. Talk to us, gentlemen, about how your first week of high school football was.
No, I feel like our first week it was great. No, we went out there. No, we did our thing. Really, no, we won 35-3. It was really good. And I feel like we're only gonna continue to get better from there.
Yes, sir. I believe that I'm really looking forward for Ola High School's football season. I believe they got most definitely potential to be playoff contenders in Georgia State. So I'm really looking forward for them to play.
What were some of the keys to the game that you saw your brother do that kind of really pushed this game out to such a big victory?
I mean, I'll say that he played a major role in defense, what helped them to get a win, and I believe him playing safety is a major factor for this team, which really makes him. He's a very versatile player, so just really happy for him.
Yeah, that'll make you proud. And you kind of, I tell you, dad is in the DNA because I think your dad played ball back in the didn't he? Didn't he too?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
did. He did. He played. I heard he played linebacker at Westlake High School, and I heard he's pretty good.
Well, he was at Westlake. Okay,
Yeah.
hmm
with that's the school that produced Pac-Man and
yep,
uh, and Cam Newton. I mean, there was some studs
Yeah.
coming out
Yeah.
of that school.
hmm
So your dad must have some skills, huh?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's a bad man. Yeah, he is. Well, listen, talk just uh, I'm gonna kind of let you brothers kind of chop it up a little bit. Just talk to me about kind of some of the things, like I said, your key play, and some of the other things. I think I sent a couple little questions over, but yeah, big brother, talk to little brother, and you guys chop it up a little bit about the game itself, and then talk to us a little bit about kind of what is kind of things that drive Caden off the field. Go ahead, Corey, take it away.
Yeah. So I just want to interfere that Caden, you had one interception and you had major key tackles during the game. So I want to know how did it make feel to make you make those big plays for him?
no, it felt. Yeah, honestly, it felt great. 'Cause, like my teammates supporting me. It really like changed the tide of the game. Well, we got a whole team after that interception. Really, like the whole team got hype. We started making plays, offense and defense. And it really helped change the momentum. Helped us give it the extra push to really dominate the other team.
Yes, sir. And actually, this Friday y'all play Locust Grove for their home season opener. What's y'all game plan to make sure y'all get a W this Friday?
So game plan really is always preparation. Watching film, studying their offense, their defense, what they do, how they do it. and how fast they do it. Really.
Okay. Pleasure to interviewing you, and hope y'all get a W this Friday against Locust Grove.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I appreciate you jumping on. I know that both of you are busy. Obviously, Caden, you trying to always prepare each and every week for a new game. And, Corey, still with your studies now. I think it's at Valdosta State. Did I get that right?
Correct.
Correct. Matter of fact, let's pop it on the screen so everybody can see here.
Mm-hmm.
I got it right here. This is the Way Brothers, guys. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'll pop it up here in a second here. If my computer would come out of the weeds. There he is. Okay, let's get up on the spotlight there. There we go. That's right. This we got right there. So our youth spotlight. Corey Way from Valdosta State, Caden Way from Ola High School in Henry County. And both of you guys are doing some big things. And I know, Corey, this is kind of you really are more behind the scene guys. I think you talked to me about a lot of the editing and stuff you do. So tell people a little bit about that before you get off there and what it means to you to kind of edit, a lot of the sports stuff that you do.
Yes, sir. Really, my role is like I like to market athletes. I like to make sure push out a positive image for them. And I would like to mainly just market athletes, push them out, make them be seen in the spotlight, especially in a Georgia scene where what I'm saying, when football happens, baby. So that's really what I do, and I really looking forward to meet with other athletes in the Georgia area and just work with them.
Before I should mention it, I'll bring on the glamour of our show, the lovely Miss Tree Dolman, a former outstanding athlete herself. I should let me stop. Excuse me, a athlete herself. I can't say former because I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Check this out. See that beautiful woman right there?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
You're doing great.
Now she got some questions for you. Before I put her on, I'm gonna give you her pedigree. Okay, so she was a two-sport star in high school, volleyball and
Three-sport
basketball.
star.
Three-sport. What's the other? Track and field too?
Track and
Right.
field, yes.
Plays golf now and also plays flag football. And check this out, boys, on the big stage, week of Super Bowl 58, they had the NFL players' wives do a charity flag football game. And guess who? 2 touchdowns, I think an interception. That's hands right there, boys. All right, Tree, go ahead. That's right.
Thank you.
Good. That's good.
Tree, any question for these two young men who are bursting on the scene now here on the Real Talk Sports Show?
Yes, I want to know what your ultimate goals are. Where do you see yourself in the future, and what is it that has given you that want or drive to pursue what it is that you two want to be when you are adulting?
Well, I'll say for me that so I've always been like a fan of sports. Like I grew up playing football and basketball. Just me from playing football when I was like younger. Like I started playing at 4 years old and started playing basketball probably I believe around like 5th grade. And just me having love for the game is just obviously I don't play them right now, but it's just me being around the game. I just really love the game, and I see me seeing myself for the future is basically I like to market athletes, and that's guarantee what I do. So from the future right now, I'm really working on starting my own sports marketing agency. So that's really what my main goal is.
I love that.
All right. And for me, in the future, I like to see myself playing NFL. Like a really like an outstanding player in the NFL. And like the draw for me to get there is just like, like my brother said, like just love for the game. This makes like it's my goal. I just want to be, just still play it and still be involved in the game as I get older, and just love the game really.
I love it. Well, I wish you both nothing but success in your future journeys, and the fact that you both love what it is that you aspire to be.
Mm-hmm.
That hard work, perseverance, those are the things that will push you to your goal and help you achieve them. So I look forward to seeing what you both do in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
we're going to bring these guys back throughout the season. One of the things that we committed to do is to, do a lot more focus on the South Side and high school football. I mean, we'll cover all of Metro Atlanta, but since I'm right down the backyard, I want to give these young men a spotlight, give them an opportunity to come on here and talk to people. And what better way to start that marketing out? Get on
Yes,
screen.
yes, sir. It's a great platform to market athletes on here. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just glad for you to have us and share our insights, and just thank you.
Like I say, guys, I appreciate you. Appreciate what appears to be a start to another good season for Ola. And hopefully, as you guys make that big push for the playoffs, Kate, we can have you on. And then as Corey, you begin to get your stable of athletes, you can bring them on and let
Yes,
them
sir.
be introduced here. Tell you about the Real Talk Sports Show. Well, guys, listen, man, keep up the good work. Appreciate you. A big shout out to your mom and dad. Like I said, I work with your dad at Allen Vigil Ford. And I know, as a matter of fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Caden, that Mr. Vigil has done a sponsorship down there, Ola.
Yeah, he has. Yes, sir. Yeah, he has. Donate some money to the program. Really help us out. Him get some new equipment and stuff. So it was really, really positive thing.
See, Corey, you see how it's set up. You might have like an NIL prospect right next to you. Just saying.
Yeah, already there, right there.
Just saying. All right, guys, listen, we appreciate you so much, man. Congrats, and we look forward to having you guys back on our youth segment of the Real Talk Sports Show. All right, everybody, there it is. The Way Brothers, Corey
Yes, sir.
and Caden in the building. Bless you, brothers.
Thank y'all for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you all for coming on.
Yes.
I love
That's our
that.
future right there. Yep.
That is our
Nice
future.
young man. Nice young man.
And I want everybody to listen. They said they love, notice that. He loves playing football. He loves sports. And so the marketing, when you follow your passion and what you love to do, you really don't feel like you're working. That is so true. So I know that those two will be very successful in life.
No doubt. And, always helps when you got good parenting. Like I said, I know their dad, their mom, I think, is on either runs the Booster Club or is one of the leaders of the Booster Club down there. So great stuff going on. Well, speaking of Allen Vigil, we're going to be back in just a moment. But first, a word from what's going on down at Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We'll be right back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go nowhere. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. Hey, sports fans, tune in for live high school football Fridays, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at allenvigilford.net.
Coming up next, it's the Real Talk Sports Show, bringing you great sports talk with perspective. Now, here's our host, Jonathan Simmons.
Guys, we're back here at the Real Talk Sports Show. It's yours truly, Jonathan Simmons, and right next to me, the lovely Queen, Tree Dolman, is here. Well, Tree, I can't believe that we're now not only high school football, but college football kicks off coming up this weekend. And a huge, there's excitement right there, boys. There it is. There it is. The Michiganders playing in a different type of Big Ten. Lots going on there with guys from the West Coast coming over. So that's going to be very interesting. And right here in our backyard, the ACC. Oh, she got some Michigan gear going to pop up? Do I see some Michigan gear?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's Sparkle. Sparkle's in the building.
Yeah.
Sparkle, what's up? Sparkle's in the building.
Say hey.
Yeah, and the other thing too is the ACC has changed quite a bit, and they have a big game tree that's going on in Ireland as the Florida State Seminoles, a team who felt they should have been in the college football playoffs, undefeated last year, taking on the surging program of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And you can see, guys, I'm sporting my official Georgia Tech. I can't get all up here. See if I can get there. my Georgia Tech jersey today. And I got a guy who's an expert with Georgia Tech and covering their football. He does a great job on his blog and website, gojackets.com. You know what I'm talking about. Our favorite, Rod McKenzie, is back in the building. Rod, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, it's good to be back, Tree. Good to see you, Jonathan. Great to be with you guys.
Rod. How have you been?
Rod, I always,
Everything's
Rod, I
great.
love you, bro.
Everything's great. Still trucking along.
Tree, you know what I love about Rod? He always like try to go incognito, so we always gotta get like the top of. There he is.
Yeah.
There he is. Well, brother, listen, man, it's good to see you. I know you got to be excited with the resurgence that we saw at the beginning last year and now carrying through to this year about Yellow Jackets. Tell people a little bit about what's going on in the campus and what it means to start this game off in Ireland.
Yeah, there's a whole new excitement around Georgia Tech, and people, national reporters, national recruiting analysts, they're all talking about Georgia Tech now. And in the past, that was an afterthought for most people. And, they've brought in a couple of good classes. They just had a recent commit from a 5-star offensive lineman. Just a lot of buzz going on around the program, but they're facing a Florida State team in Dublin that's won 16 straight in the 12 straight in the ACC. So it's not going to be easy.
What are some of the keys that we're going to look for here on this Jacket team as they square off against a Florida State team, which I'm sure feels still a little salty after last year? What are some of the keys, first of all, on offense that we can look for the people who may be not familiar with the Tech program?
Well, you have maybe 8 or 9 starters back from last season, a team that was 4th in the ACC in offense, led the ACC in rushing. They got Haynes King back, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Jamal Haynes rushed for over 1,000 yards. 4 out of their 5 offensive linemen back, and their whole receiving group back. So they feel pretty confident in being able to move the ball. And I think the key for Georgia Tech with that offense will be to control the ball, maybe eat up a lot of the clock, and try to keep Florida State off the field, their offense off the field.
Sound good formula. Tree, any questions or comments for Rod about his Yellow Jackets as they go across to the green grass of Ireland?
Yes, I like that they're traveling and going to Ireland, but what I would like to know is looking at, I know you said they're returning a lot of players, so where are they projected to finish this year, and how do you see them in regards to that projection?
Well, we just had about 3 weeks ago, we had the ACC Media Days, and the media votes there in Georgia Tech was not picked in the top half of the ACC, and I think a lot of that is the past perception of who Georgia Tech was and not of who they are now. So, they face one of the tougher schedules in the country. When you have to face, Miami, Virginia Tech, you got North Carolina State, you got Georgia, you open against Florida State, Notre Dame comes in. Pretty tough group of teams to go up against. And naturally, Georgia Tech feels that they have a chance to pull off some upsets, and that'll be a key to their season, being able to pull off some of those upsets.
Yeah, sounds like it.
All right, talk about Georgia Tech against Notre Dame. My understanding is that's going to be on the big stage of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Is that correct?
It'll be at the Benz, and naturally there'll be a lot of Notre Dame fans there. That's one fan base that seems to show up everywhere. So it's going to be interesting. I remember, back in my days when I was at Pitt, we used to play Notre Dame every year, and their fans would always show up no matter where you played them.
You went to Pitt?
I worked there.
Oh, okay.
Late 70s, early 80s, I worked there with the football team. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Back in the Marino days, and
Oh, so you were there with my hubby.
I know him. Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, because
He
Marino
was at one time, Jonathan, Pitt had Hugh Green, Ricky Jackson,
Hugh Green, that's right. Yep.
and Chris all playing defensive end at the same time. I mean, you can't top that.
No, those teams are some awesome teams, And of course, Georgia fans remember playing Pitt in the bowl game. I think the Sugar Bowl, was it 81 Sugar Bowl?
Yeah, Marino hit John Brown in the end zone
Yep.
towards the end of the game, and to knock Georgia off. They beat Georgia twice, as a matter of fact. So
That's incredible.
those were the good days when Pitt was putting player after player into the pros.
Yeah, dynamite program. Like you mentioned, you talk about that defense. That you got a bunch of studs there on that team back in those days, no doubt. But like I said, I mean, in the last couple of years, Pitt has shown some flashes of having some decent teams and some good teams. So the ACC, man, you can't really sleep on them. Now, speaking of that, does Georgia Tech play Clemson this year at all?
This is the first year they haven't played Clemson, and I don't know
Okay,
when.
right.
They were, before they added teams to the conference, they were the crossover team. That's no longer the case. So you're meeting some new teams. Getting to see some teams you hadn't played in a long time. Like North Carolina State. And of course, this year I don't think Pitt doesn't have any of the West Coast teams on their schedule or SMU. So we're going to have to wait down the road to see what that's going to be like. But it's the current landscape in college football. You gotta be prepared for anything when it comes to who's going to be in your conference.
I'm just curious. I've not had a chance to ask you this. What are your thoughts about this realignment? I mean, you're like me, kind of an old school guy. I'm not that excited about it. What are your thoughts about this whole alignment with, 3 or 4 Pac-12 teams, always arch rival, the Big Ten, now in the Big Ten, and the ACC expanding, also picking up some guys in the Pac-12 as well.
Yeah, I want to see the ACC stay the way they are. It's going to be tough for Florida State and Clemson to get out unless something unusual happens in the courts. But they're going to be there for another couple of years. I just like, if you're a Tech fan, why would you want to have to travel to up in the Midwest in the middle of winter to watch your team play when you can play all your games down here in the South?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
Cold in that Midwest.
I mean, I lived through those when I was in Pittsburgh. I know.
We had them in Connecticut, up in the Northeast. We had the famous Northeasters that would roll in.
Yep.
We were right there on the sound of the water, and so it was crazy. I'm just not a big fan. I always think that one of the things that made college football so intriguing and so fun. Of course, we know the bowl system is pretty much gone now, but having these regional conferences, and then at the end of the year having these classic matchups. For years and years, the Rose Bowl, Big Ten against Pac-12. SEC against Big 12 teams. I mean, you just kind of live for those. And later on, the Orange Bowl, you were getting an ACC team against a Big 10 team. So I think for me personally, I kind of miss having those kind of rivalries that you'd have to wait until the end of the season. Now, you occasionally had these marquee games that they would do during the years. And of course, they started to develop these neutral site games to start the year. But I'm going to kind of miss the regional matchups, the rivalries that you got. And then, like you said, getting capped off at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, there wasn't any guarantees of what bowl game you were going to go to. You played your last game and waited for that phone call and made a decision on where you wanted to go,
Right.
And if it was Thanksgiving, and for instance, if you were at Pitt, you were either going to host Penn State or you were going to travel over to State College to play Penn State. And that stopped because of Paterno. So, that's just the way of the world now, though. Yeah, change is prevalent for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, like you said, it's just a different world now. But we all have to adjust to it. And, can't. I always tell people I try to avoid sounding like the old guy in the barbershop. Everything is better in my day. No, well, it's new and it's changed. It's different. And I think we all have to get used to it. And I think that at some point in time, it's going to create its own, energy. I think that fans are going to be excited about the ability to see more teams play in the playoffs. So I guess at the end of the day, you got to take the good with the bad. Well, Rod, listen, man, I know you're busy. how can people find out more about you? You know how we like to do it. Let our guests tell people about websites and social media. So, Mr. Rod McKenzie, the floor is yours.
We're on the 247 Sports Network owned by CBS. You can find us at gojackets.com. And I'm Georgia Panther, not the Georgia State Panther, but the old Pitt Panther. It was my handle when I moved here from Pittsburgh to Atlanta, so I never got rid of it.
Robert, appreciate you, man. Taking time out with us here. Remember, guys, check them out. GoJackets.com. Rod, until the next time, man. Take care and God bless.
Hey, thanks, Jonathan.
Thank
Treat,
you.
take care of yourself.
You too.
Well, yes, our man, Rob McKenzie. Yeah, I think it's going to be big time football at Georgia Tech. I think they're going to surprise people. And that end of the year game, I'm not trying to say that Tech would win, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think, that final game that they play against Georgia. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And guess what? We're bringing back our community spotlight. We got a young lady that's doing some big things in a sport that just recently got a lot of shine. To find out more, you got to keep it locked right here for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions, or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. Congratulations. What do you think? Is it worth the wait, buddy?
I love it. I can't wait to get on the road with it.
Listen, man, thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Appreciate your business.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate your business.
Congratulations, Amici, on your new F-250 that you got from us. How was your experience here at Allen Vigil Ford?
Thank you so much, Jonathan, man. I appreciate everything you did for me, man. This is awesome right here. And you did, I mean, your service is impeccable, man. I really appreciate everything you did for me.
Appreciate you, man. Congrats.
This is Patrick Willis, and this is Real Talk Sports.
So back here, I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and right next to me, the lovely Queen Tree Dolman. And as you guys can see, yeah, I'm actually, besides being a minister, a commercial account manager at Allen Vigil Ford. So please, if you do need a vehicle for yourself or your family, please give me a call. I'll put it on the screen here for those of you who are watching. You can hit me up with the email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or you, in fact, can give me a call on the cell or text me, 678-410-9833. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. We have a special finance department that can help you with that. And then good news, we have 0% is back on many of our vehicles, including the ever-popular Ford F-150, number one selling vehicle in the country. So again, if you need a vehicle for yourself, your family, or business, hit me up, 678-410-9833, and I'd love to give you a hand. Well, speaking of a hand, we probably would need four hands for our next guest that's coming up. This young lady was part of a gymnastic team that made history, and she is going to be joining us along with her mom. So we're going to bring to the stage Miss Kirsten Johnson and her mom, Sharon Johnson. Okay, let's get both ladies up. And a one, and a two. There they are, ladies. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show.
Hello. Thanks for joining us.
Well, first of all, congratulations to being, as I mentioned to you when I spoke to you on the phone, you're actually part of history, a group of young ladies that broke through. How does it feel to be, at such a young age, a history maker?
It's amazing. It's still mind-blowing to this day. I would not change a thing about the whole experience. It was definitely different. And going into it, I was so nervous. And then I just had so many like high expectations for myself. But I literally went in there and I had fun, showed up, show out. And I just showed everyone what Talladega College Gymnastics was all about. And it was like the best thing ever. So very happy.
I think we have a proud mom there in the background. How did you feel about this, seeing your daughter break forth on this grand stage, being, like you said, part of history?
Proud. Proud. Her dad and I very proud. We've been proud since the day she signed. It's just been nonstop since the day she signed. The season started, and it started to pick up, and she started to pick up, and so we were like, there she is.
Mhm.
And then to get to nationals, we've been on cloud nine. We've been cloud nine, like I said, since she joined the historical team, second HBCU gymnastics team, which will forever be etched in history as the second HBCU gymnastics team, till now. On to the next.
Yep.
Again, it was at Talladega College. You guys broke forth and competed in NCAA tournaments as an HBCU school, which I think you guys were either the first or second school to do so. And and you guys went in and handled your business, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely proud of like what we did for our first year. I think everyone was actually sleeping on us. Really, I really don't think anyone really expected for Talladega to do as good as they did for their first year. Like first HBCU to be AD1 team, and then we had 6 gymnasts to qualify for nationals, which is amazing. We're definitely happy with how the season turned out. So we're very proud. I know we all wouldn't change a thing, even though it was probably just for like 1 year. But yeah, very happy.
Except for that it ended.
Yeah, exactly.
Say it again.
It's still mind blowing and shocking.
Yeah,
it's
very,
still,
very.
to me, it's still surreal. Even though when we say it, it just still doesn't feel real. There was a post done today, and that was the first time I actually broke down. That was the first time it
Wow.
actually hit, really, because it was just going over the season of everything that she did. But in my head, I was picturing those moments as well as the moments her teammates had as well. And it was like, man, it really is gone. It's gone.
Yep.
It's like a tsunami came in
And just wiped it out.
and just wiped it out. And you can't even rebuild it because they don't want to rebuild it, I guess.
Well, the bottom line is 2024 USA Gymnastics Women's Collegiate National Championship vault champion. Now, that headline says you're going to be taking your talent somewhere else. Well, first of all, before I let you go, Tree, what do you think about this young lady who has blazed this trail and in an Olympic year where everybody has kind of had their eyes on gymnastics?
Well, can I just say we always love gymnastics. It's just such a phenomenal sport and so talented. When I was younger, I thought that it's something that I wanted to do, but I've always been super tall, and clearly it's not a sport for tall women. But the question that I have for you, first of all, congratulations. That is
Thank
just fantastic and so amazing. And you're giving so many young girls an opportunity to see themselves, just like they get to see themselves in Simone Biles and you and your team. But I would like to know, what is your favorite event and why?
Vault.
I figured you were going to
Vault.
say that.
Vault
Okay.
and
And why?
floor. I love like power events to just floor, you get to show everyone like your personality and just like how you are like as a gymnast. I think it's like great, and that's how you get everyone to like really like zone into like what you're doing. Plus you get to show off like cool flips and everything. But for vault, that's just always just been my thing. I just feel free when I'm on vault. Like you can really do anything on vault. You get to show off your lines, and you get to. I was so happy to accomplish my goal, my freshman year, which was to stick my vault. That right there, that was amazing. That was so amazing. I just felt like so powerful in that moment, and I was just so happy for myself because I knew that was something that I was really just trying to get done, and I did it. The last competition of the season. So yeah, vault and floor, top 2 right there.
So when I look at the vault, what's really the key to being an outstanding performer in the vault? What are some of the things? Is it the running start? Is it the jumping off the vault? Kind of what's the thing that is saying this has got to be on point for the rest of the routine to be on point?
I feel like it kind of depends on what vault you're doing. Really for vault, you just really have to focus on your technique because you're really running towards an object. sometimes, like, yes, you do need a powerful run, but like that run can't always really get you like the perfect vault. Like I said, you really just have to focus on like technique. Like for my vault, like I do like a Yuchenko, so it's kind of like round off into like the board and then a handspring into like the table. So you have to like turn over your round off and make sure you have like the perfect angle on the table to get that perfect block off, to get that high, like nice, like power that you need to twist or like flip or whatnot. So it's just practice over the years and just really just trusting yourself and what you're doing, because vault is really not for everyone. Some people really don't like vault, but vault has just always just been my thing. Really. So
It's funny that you say that, because when he asked the question, my
Mhm.
answer was going to be everything. Like
yeah.
you have to do everything right in order to be good, because even when you watch the Olympic team, which we know they're the best of the best of the best of the best, we even see how, and not just the USA team, but all the different teams, like you just see so many things that go wrong with a lot of them. And so our team just makes it look so easy, but I
Yeah.
watch and I love and I know that it is not, I could not do half of what you guys do. And it just is amazing. And especially for that to be your favorite, because to me, it seems like that and the balance beam are the two hardest in my opinion. But
No,
yeah,
they are. They are. Balance beam. Oh, Lord. I love
yeah.
balance beam. Trust me, I do. I do. I will love, I like trying like a whole bunch of skills on there, but sometimes when it comes to like staying on the beam, that's like the hardest thing. The beam's like the width of your iPhone.
Yes. Yes.
So it's hard to like balance on it. So yeah, you really have to make sure that you just have confidence within like yourself. Just make sure that you actually just trust yourself and what you're doing on beam, because it could be a very intimidating event, definitely when it comes to like competitions. You have all that pressure on yourself. So yes, very hard.
Yes.
I'm not flipping on a stick.
What you say,
Let
Mom?
alone
What was that?
3 or 4. I'm not flipping on a stick. And 3-4 feet up. No, I'm not doing that.
Mm-mm. Sometimes I even wonder how I'm able to do it, really.
Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of practice. Yeah, I'm just amazed watching you guys do your thing. And so now, tell us a little bit about. I saw the headline and I posted up really quickly, but I'll read it here from HBCU Legends. Says the following: said gold medalist Kirsten Johnson vaults from HBCU to Division I gymnastics. Says the champion will be taking her talent to a Division I program. So spill the beans. Where you going?
Temple University. I'm actually here right now. I just moved in Sunday. Yeah. I'm in an apartment right now. I've met some of the teammates. Oh, and thank you. I met some of the teammates. They're all so nice and so welcoming. I can't wait to start practicing. Still waiting for some furniture to come in, since, you know, everything has just happened like so late, but I'm so excited to start this new chapter. So excited.
I'm so
Mom,
excited
what's
for
your
you.
I'm about to say, what's your take on the whole thing? I mean, is she going to be further away from where you guys live, or closer, or about the same?
She is very much closer.
A lot closer.
About flights anymore.
Nope.
She can just get on a train, or we can just go get her. 2 hours. How I
Yep.
feel about it?
Oh, that's a blessing.
Hootie hoo. Hootie hoo. Go Owls.
That is a classic look of a happy woman tree. See that? That's a mom that's like, my baby's close to me.
Yeah, her baby's 2 hours away. Listen, 2 hours, that's a house in a jump.
Versus somewhere else versus Talladega. That's 12 hours.
Now when
So,
she calls me,
huge
Mommy, I
jump.
don't feel good. Here I come, baby.
Aw, love it.
It's a beautiful thing. That is really a beautiful thing. Now, and speaking of that, now this is a big move. A lot of things going on, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, from our conversation, uh, there's some fundraising going on, because it's not necessarily a 1, 2, 3 kind of situation. Not like the guys getting NILs. Come on, we'll give you 800 grand to come on to school. It's a little different. Tell people a little bit about that and how they can be a part of helping you take that next step.
Well, Mom, I don't know if you want to chime in, because actually the fundraiser was definitely her idea. This.
So.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Kirsten has an active fundraiser right now because the timing that this team was dismantled, it couldn't have been worse, I don't think. There was no there wasn't enough time given or notice given to them to where financial aid is closed, all scholarships, any sports really, any colleges know scholarships are done. So if there's space on a team such as Temple, unfortunately, as much as they would have loved to have offered her money, they just didn't have it. They've offered it to their last recruits. So these girls are coming on as walk-ons. I mean, even Kirsten being a national champion, coming as a walk-on, it just doesn't even sound right. But it's literally her reality right now. But her reality is costing $33,000 plus an off-campus apartment that we're having to pay for. So, you know, when Kirsten was recruited, she was recruited with a 4-year full ride. So this was not in our financial plan.
And
So,
just to give an explanation, the reason why this move is that if I understand correctly, let's read it here. This is the headline from Houston. It says the Talladega women's gymnastic program has closed. So basically, you guys went from having a full program to nothing.
So nothing and nowhere to go. So
Wow.
everybody started scrambling, trying to figure things out. And Kirsten and I would have to say the other top, Alexa Chewy, she went to George Washington. But Kirsten is, like I said, a walk-on, which means that we're paying full tuition. So we figured with the support that she has, I created a fundraiser, trying to see if we could get assistance pretty much with this tuition that has been very unforeseen. And unfortunate because it's not any fault of theirs, you know, of the position that they've been placed in. So that's what it is.
I think people don't understand about the way college sports work. It's the two big things that kind of drive the train in most schools is football and basketball. So if you really don't have a ginormous program in those regards, there's not a whole lot of money to go around. Now, occasionally some schools like you have some great women's softball teams, and I know the Nebraska volleyball team is legendary. They actually had a game that they had in a stadium where they had 90,000 people come on. I think it was to watch the Nebraska volleyball team.
I think it was 144,000.
But that's not the norm. Yeah. The norm is the schools outside the Big Two, basketball and football, they have to rely on, you know, some of the revenue from those sports. So the fact that, you know, Talladega is not a football factory. It's just sad that that has to be done. All right. Well, how can people, do you have a website? Do you have social media? Do you have, you know, some type of Zelle or Cash App we can maybe throw on the screen so people can help if they are inclined to do so?
Kirsten, you can give me your Cash App. It's all the same.
Oh, yeah. My Cash App is actually Tumbles. I think it's Tumbles1. I think. Gosh, I can't remember my own Cash App. It's Tumbles1. Is there anything else associated with that? No, that's it.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that. I'm so sorry. As far as
No worries.
the fundraiser, it's on PayPal.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
I can tell you that the email address for the fundraiser is shop4myself@aol.com. Shop the number 4 myself@aol.com.
Hopefully I'll be able to type that in here before we close this segment out. I'm not the best of typists, so just bear with me there. But I think this was, do I have that Cash App right there?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how you guys can help a closure of a school where you had a young woman just win the NCAA championship, now having to transfer and no scholarship help at all. So if you guys do want to contribute, there it is. That's the Cash App right there. And hopefully I will have the website up in just a second. Do I have that right?
Yes. That's
On the email?
PayPal username. Yep.
There we go. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys for stopping in and joining in with us today. I know you got a lot going on. You just checked into school, lots of things happening. Tree, any more closing comments or questions before I let these lovely ladies head off into the night?
I just wish you nothing but success, and I hope to continue to see you in the Olympics and just keep doing your thing. It would be phenomenal to see you accomplish all of your dreams.
Oh, thank you so much. If I didn't make the Olympics, that would be awesome.
Cool stuff.
Thank you
There's
for
how you
having me.
contribute. No doubt, Tumbles one, or also you can email shopformyself@aol.com, and Mom will send out information on how you can connect with them and support them, however you see fit. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you a great fortune and more wins and trophies as you continue on your career.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, ladies,
Have a
God
great
bless.
school year.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, we have a break in the action. And then I know you guys have been on standby. You're saying, what's going on? Have you forgotten football? Absolutely not. And we have breaking news from the Falcons from you know who. Well, if you don't, you got to stay tuned for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be right back. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
I kill you, wide receiver coach, Atlanta Falcons.
Coach, looking at this team, everybody's been talking about how high-powered it is, how many offensive weapons. What do you really do to reinforce the type of scheme that you guys are trying to run to be most effective for your players?
Say we're high-powered, huh?
That's what everybody says, yes, sir.
Looks good on paper right now. We have a lot of work to do. Look, we have the luxury of having a quarterback that's seen it all, and we're really excited about that. We also have the luxury of having a quarterback that was drafted really high that has a ton of potential. So that puts us in a category of having a high-powered offense, man. Good for us, but we still have to put.
A little bit from wide receiver coach Ike Hilliard, the guy that played in the league. But we have a guy that's always on the ground floor what's happening with the Falcons. He is the embedded beat writer for AJC Sports for the Falcons. He also is an award-winning and highly decorated sports writer. And he is an Esquire par excellence. We're talking about the one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter is back. D-Led, welcome back, sir.
Hey, Reverend, thank you. Thanks for having me back. And hello, Miss Tree. Good seeing you again tonight.
Good seeing you again, too. And I mean, I don't want to just hear that he's an award winner. Like, D-Leg, can you please tell us the last award that you just received in Canton, Ohio? Because this is not just an award.
Yeah, on August the 1st, I was given the Bill Nunn Junior Memorial Award from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton and the Pro Football Writers of America for the writer who has covered football in a distinguished manner for a long time. So I'm a Hall of Fame for the football writers, and it's pretty good honor. Been kind of busy, Reverend. That's why I haven't been able to get on the show here.
Wait, listen.
So I missed Tree in the Hall of Fame fashion show, and she came over to meet the Queen, and so it was a full circle moment for Atlanta and Canton.
It was. And do you want to know the crazy part? Because I was so hoping that we got there in time for me to see you get the award. And when we got there, you had already received it. But I saw you on the stage and everything. But yeah, I hate that I didn't get to watch it because you would have heard me so loud. But I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. It was so wonderful meeting your beautiful wife and seeing you both there. And thank you for supporting me in the fashion show.
Yes. We were glad to do that. And thank you for your support. And the full official speech is on my Facebook page for the Facebook people. And I put it on the Atlanta Falcons News Now page. So it's there. It's introduced by Rich Eisen and Roger Goodell. So it's pretty big time.
Couldn't get too much better
Watching
than
it
that. So
tonight.
again, congratulations, sir. We appreciate you, and man, just listen. How does it make you feel, man? Because from time to time, you've been kind enough to kind of post snippets of the young Daryl Orlando Ledbetter, and we saw pictures from you as a as a collegian pledging. What does it mean to you now, thinking back as that young guy, thinking I want to get involved in sports writing? Again, it was during a time then where you didn't necessarily have that many African American sports writers. What does it mean to you now to come, at this point in your career, all these many years in, and to begin to get these accolades?
Yeah, it's a full circle moment. We were, starting out in the 80s. Was one of the founders of the NABJ Sports Task Force. So, we've been able to help build a lot of bridges for other people trying to get into the business. A lot of people have been over here when NABJ is in town, from Stephen A. to Jamil Hill to, Gary D. Howard. So it's pretty big and close-knit network. And, some folks have went on to make a lot of money and on the TV side, and some folks have been grinding away at the newspaper. And I've been in that group. So I've been, more than happy to do that, and proud of the work we've been able to do over the years. And certainly at the AJC for the readers of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Talking about giving back to Led, tell people a little bit about the work that you do with some of the local colleges, because I know there's been times I've seen as many as a dozen or more students with you. Tell people a little bit about that as you literally bring young people in on the ground floor at real games.
Yeah, well, one of my classmates at Howard was the dean over at Clark, and she said, "Hey, I need you to teach a class." I had an advanced degree, and she just gave me a book and a syllabus. In 19 years, I've been teaching a class at least one class at Clark Atlanta University, and then at the University of Georgia for the last 9 years in their John Carmichael Sports Media Institute. And we try to do experiential learning where we actually take them to the games, and we teach them the stats and what to look for, and then try to get them practical experience in the field from whether it's the Gwinnett Stripers. The big one was me taking the whole class to the Super Bowl when it was here in Atlanta, thanks to the NFL. The Falcons haven't been real helpful lately for us, but the Atlanta United has. The Falcons used to help us out a lot, but they do some work with Morehouse. But they got this big press box, but they don't. We haven't been able to do a lot with them. But the Hawks have been great. The Dream. Everybody in Atlanta has been, Georgia Tech. We've been at the swimming and diving championships. So it's a lot of sports going on in this community, a lot of opportunities to teach, and a lot of opportunities for the children to learn. Matter of fact, one of the Morehouse kids in Ron Thomas's program is being named the Miami Dolphins beat writer for the Miami Herald. So that's kind of a breakthrough for that program. And my guys, the old guys down there, Omar Kelly and from the Herald, and Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel, they'll help him out and make sure he knows what he's on top of his game down there. So that's a good one for Ron, and the Morehouse program too.
I mean, that's just great stuff. Tree, I've seen it in person. The D-Led looks like the Pied Piper. They all kind of follow him. We're at the Hawks game, and actually, to be very candid, due to D-Led's prep and kind of getting his kids so they weren't just like totally starry-eyed, one of those young ladies had one of the best questions in the press conference. So yeah, he's done. I mean, this is real stuff, guys. And it's so good to see people not just talk about it, but be about it. So congratulations to you, man. Appreciate all the good work you do, bro.
Well, thank you so much, Reverend. It's a pleasure and an honor.
All right, let's get to some football. D-Led, you got to be excited because it's been a minute since we've had the kind of energy that appears to be around our Atlanta Falcons. Before I go backwards, let's talk a little bit about the two moves. One of them, I know Tree was kind of dancing in the street because she's the defensive coordinator at heart. Tell people a little bit about these two additions of two basically former Pro Bowlers, and Matthew Judon and my cousin. I'm going to call him my cousin, Justin Simmons.
Yeah, no doubt. Judon, both of them are multiple Pro Bowlers, 4 and 2 And then Justin Simmons been named to the All-Pro second team 4 times, which he's been doing his work in obscurity in Denver for the last 8 years for non-playoff teams. So he's excited to have the opportunity to be on a team that might go to the playoffs this year. And Judon is one of the top pass rushers in the league. Over the last 8 seasons, he came out of, and Trio love this, Grand Valley State in Michigan. So, West Bloomfield Hills, Detroit guy. We haven't had our Detroit conversation yet, but I'll get to that with him. And 3-4 pass rusher, plays the run tough, just a real tough hombre. Kind of brings that dog to the defense that folks have said has been missing since Abraham was here. Looking forward to seeing those 2 pros get on the field and wreak havoc. So that'll be very positive for a team that spent a lot of money and a lot of resources on building out the offense. Now they're starting to get over to the defensive side of the ball and address some of their glaring issues as far as pass coverage and pass rushing.
Tree, thoughts or questions for D-Led about those moves or any other moves the Falcons have made? Because they've made a lot of them this offseason.
They have made a lot of moves, and to be quite honest, I know, Jonathan, put yourself on the screen because I want to see your face. I know you're probably going to be shocked when I say this, but I see the Falcons doing well this year. I think they can get some upsets. I can see the Falcons doing well this year. I can. And you know how I am. You need a pass rusher. And just like D-Led said, which is what I've always said, you need somebody with that dog and that umph. And that's what was missing. And you really can have a team change their offense and their game plan when you have somebody like that on the other side of the ball. So, I mean, the Falcons are looking pretty good right now. I can't wait for football season, but I definitely think that they're looking pretty good. D-Led, where do you have them on your list, and how far do you see them going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I had to kind of recalibrate this year because I was expecting to see them play some actual football, but we're not going to get a chance to see it because they don't tackle in practice and they don't play in the games anymore. So I got to base it on what I see in practice. And last week, I saw probably the best practice that we've seen since Kyle Shanahan left. The ball was in the air. They were moving the ball. They were striking. But the tackling is problematic when you don't practice tackling. So, stuff has got to come together. But, got a lot of great parts. And I wish I could report that they're going to be great because they look great. But I haven't seen them play a lot of football just the way they practice nowadays. So, but Kirk Cousins looks good. The receivers are catching the ball. I don't know if the pass rush can hold up because they haven't tested it in front of us. Defensively, you don't know when a tackle is a tackle. So they're learning their defense, their schemes, they're getting in the right position and stuff. But we're not going to know what kind of team this is until, the fourth game. They got to come out against Pittsburgh, the Eagles, and the Chiefs with their best stuff. So, they can't hide it forever. We'll know right away just how good this team's going to be. And I think most people got them starting 1 and 2 and then maybe putting things together after a bumpy start.
Yeah, I mean, they look it's just like Ike Hilliard said when I made that comment about the offense. He said, on paper.
Yeah.
He says, yeah. He said, I need to see it on the grass, brother. He said, all that stuff on paper doesn't mean anything because we play on grass. And until we really can see this offense and even this defense in its totality, we're just really not going to kind of know, like you said, really what we have. But on paper, this is about as good as Falcon team I've seen since the 2011, 2012 team, and then of course 2016 and to some degree 2017. I think had they won the Super Bowl, 2017 would have been much better. I mean, it's kind of hard to play, and to their credit, they actually got back to the playoffs after the collapse they had in postseason. But I've not seen this type of talent across the board since those teams. How about you? Where would you kind of rank this team again on paper as far as comparing to some of the other great Falcons teams we've seen?
Well, Grady Jarrett said this is the best team he's been on. That includes 16. I want to see them do it on the field. I want to see. I don't know about the pass rush. I want to see Bijan get better. I want to see Drake London get over 1,000 yards. I want to see, if Darnell Mooney can stop dropping passes. That was his thing in Chicago. So I got 2 first-time coordinators, Reverend. That worries me because you don't know what they're going to do when the game's on the line. It gets tight because they've never been in that situation before. So it's a lot of variables that got to come together, Reverend. And, hey, if they hit on 9 out of 10 of them, they're going to be fine. If they only hit on 5 out of 10 of them, they're going to be struggling back in that try to get to the playoffs 9 and 8 group. So if they hit everything and all the cylinders are going, they might be unstoppable and can take this division and win 11, 12 games and go in the playoffs and do some damage. So, that's a lot better window than what we've been talking about. A couple years ago, it was like, hey, I could only see 4 wins at this time. Remember that? The over and under was 4.5 wins. So they've made strides. It's time to, quit being like Dallas and talking about it. It's time for them to go out there and be about it.
Yeah, no doubt. As far as what you've seen in the camp, obviously, I'm not going to really ask you too much about, Judon and Simmons because they just got there. But as far as this team, first of all, from that draft core that they brought in, who are the guys that have seemed to stand out to you and look like, okay, they might have been worth that second or third, whatever round pick that we picked them? You have a couple of guys, especially on defense, you say, you know what, these guys might be players from what you've seen.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the quarterback looks great.
Right, yeah.
He ain't going to play this year, so that don't help you much unless something happens to Kurt. But he's awesome, man. That pretty left-handed throw. But defense, that's what you asked about, so let's move over there. Rook Aroru looks good. He had a big sack against the Ravens. Big, sturdy kid. Brandon Dorless, the 4th-round pick, looks good. Load from Georgia is going to probably be a practice squad guy, but he's big and fast. Braylon Trice was looking good. He was going to play, but he, had the injury there down in Miami. He was out for the season. J.D. Bertram, the linebacker from Notre Dame, he's a tackle hustle kid, probably help on special teams. So that's and the receiver and the running back, they're probably special teamers too. Casey Washington and Jason McClellan from Alabama. So you got some depth. And the good thing is Grady and Oyemata, they're in their 30s. So these kids don't have to play right now. You could pump them, let them pump iron in that new $1 million weight room they got, and pump for a year, pump for 2 years, and then when Grady and them are, at the end of their careers, these kids will be ready to go. So I like the fact that they have depth up front because I don't want a team that's getting pushed around. And they've got a lot of people. They still got Tycon Graham. They got Goldman. They got Kentavious Street. These are all pro NFL tackles. So when they go to play on Sundays, they're not going to be getting pushed around, and they're going to be rested. So if he does this rotation right, and these kids don't back down, you're gonna see a fresh Grady Jarrett in the 4th quarter. You're gonna see a fresh David Oyemata in the 4th quarter, helping you close out games and stuff. So I see what they're doing, and I like where they're going with the defensive front.
So with Judon being there now, do you think Arnold Ekatabe can now get to the next level? This is a guy everybody's kind of thinking that by this time he might be a guy that could give you somewhere between 8 to 12 sacks. Do you think that could be possible now that you have potentially a guy that you got to pay real attention to on the other side?
Yeah, he's got great pressure numbers, Reverend. I've been tracking it ever since they drafted him, and he got great explosion and so forth. And he should have way more sacks than he's got over the last couple of years. So yeah, he was the candidate to carry the pass rush before they got Judon. Now he might get some one-on-ones and might be able to get home from the other side. If they're sliding to Judon, he's got to beat this guy and get home. So between him and Lorenzo Carter, those are the top 3 outside linebackers. They gotta be able to play against the run. That's the problem for him. He's a little light. So and when he's in there on a run play, they're gonna probably run it at him. But when there's a passing situation, he should be able to get a one-on-one now. Because I mean, are they gonna double team Judon and Grady and leave him open? Or are they gonna double team Ebiketie and Judon and leave Grady open? So now people got decisions to make.
Yeah, big decisions. Now you talked a lot on offense, and maybe Tree, I know you're a defensive minded gal, but any questions for D-Led about what the Falcons may do on offense?
Yes. But what do you think they're going to do on offense? And I must say that I think you both know how much I love Kirk Cousins, not because he went to Michigan State, but because he used to be our Vikings quarterback. And so I've watched a lot of him. And even when some of the Viking fans didn't appreciate him, I always did, because I would always say, like, his numbers are really good. So when he came to the Falcons, I've been really excited about that. But having him as our quarterback, I know he's coming off an injury, but tell me how successful you think our offense will be with him, and just things that you've seen from him in the past and with the guys that we have here.
Yeah, I think you got to look at 2 offenses here and kind of figure that the Falcons are going to be a blend of the Rams and the Vikings, because that's who came with Raheem. Zach Robinson was under Kevin O'Connell and Sean McVay with the Rams, so he's going to try to run that offense, which is a quick West Coast mixture with Kyle Shanahan's run game. So you start looking at the Falcons, say, okay, I don't see Justin Jefferson over there. I don't see that. But maybe there's Cooper Kupp. Maybe Drake London can be Cooper Kupp. Okay. I don't see OBJ, but maybe Darnell Mooney can be that receiver. A lot of crossing routes, a lot of underneath stuff. And then they got to find somebody that can get up the field and take the top off of the defense. They got Kyle Pitts, which, that's the best tight end that he'll be throwing to, unless you count Hawkinson, who was a good tight end too in Minnesota. So you got to look at how the Vikings use Hawkinson. That's Pitts. Drake London's Cooper Kupp. And then Darnell Mooney's got to be OBJ, second receiver, chain mover on third downs for the Falcons. So a lot of quick stuff. And then you got Bijan to throw in the mix. He's got to be Todd Gurley for you. Think of Todd Gurley when the Rams had it rolling. He's got to be that guy that will run the ball and then catch it out of the backfield for you. Sorry.
That sounds like a lot of weapons, D-Led, but the one guy, and I asked Coach about this, Zach Robinson, and his face kind of, do what you're supposed to. The coach kind of lit up and said, "Hey, we got a lot of plans for him." But I think the guy that could really be the unsung hero of this team is Tyler Algiers, because Algiers, no disrespect to Bijan, but if you really need a couple of yards, Algiers will probably get it for you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Need me to send some water across the.
Oh no,
virtual water.
Good.
You good?
Yeah, I should. I usually have some right here, but I'm good. Algier is a good one, and I forgot Ray McLeod.
Right.
Right. So they got weapons. It's gonna be a matter of what people are trying to take away and who's gonna be open. But Algiers, I really like his after contact numbers.
Yes.
He's hard to bring down. So he's going to be a good change of pace, maybe even a red zone back for this team here.
I think on this team, he's going to be the closer. I think that unlike in years past, you remember so many times where you get to that 4-minute mark, you got to really kind of control the clock. I think the Algiers is going to be critical, because I think the Falcons are going to find themselves with leads like they did last year, but it's going to be a different situation. And I think Algiers can really be that difference, pound those yards out. And again, the play action fake with him, and even with Bijan, should be, if everything, I mean, you see it. If we can even get 90% of Kirk Cousins, this Falcons team should be a tough team to stop offensively.
Yeah, well, there's always one big elephant in the room, Reverend, and that's pass blocking.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the same line that gave up 40 sacks The center was getting pushed around. He should be a little bit stouter. That right guard, left guard should be a lot better second year. So that middle should be a little stronger. But you still got Jake Matthews and Caleb McGarry out there. Jake's been a solid pro for 10 years. One Pro Bowl. You know, can he be elite? He would have done it by now. So I'm not really expecting that. But McGarry, we know that he struggled. So does this scheme protect him? Will you put Charlie Warner in to help block on that side? Or are you going to quick pass it all the time so you can hide him in pass pro? But you can't do that all because people are going to start jumping them quick routes. At some point, you're going to have to go back and pass block. And that's the one thing that I'm worried about this offense.
So you mentioned Charlie Warner as that's why they brought him in. He is a very efficient blocker. Do you see is that maybe why they brought in the young man from Alabama who is kind of like Tyler Algiers in terms of he can run the ball in between the tackles, but also he's supposed to be an extremely good blocker. Do you think we might see him more than people expect, even though he's a 6th-round pick because of those skill sets?
No, because he's been hurt, and so he's been slow out of the gate. He was hurt over the offseason. He just got some action up in Baltimore, getting his feet back wet. Had a yellow jersey on last week. So he's more down the road situation for him. He caught the ball out of the backfield well at Alabama too. So if something happens to Bijan, then he can at least do the pass catching part of it. But yeah, he's coming along. I haven't seen where he can contribute right away from what we've seen thus far.
Tree, more questions or comments for D-Lake?
Yes. So let's talk about my Detroit Lions. How do you think we're going to do this season? And do you agree with me that my Lions will be playing in the Super Bowl in New Orleans?
Well, they were so close last year, Tree, blowing a 24-7 lead to the Niners, which was revenge from 66 years ago when the Lions upset them in the playoffs. But Jahmyr Gibbs came back today. I hope Coach doesn't do anything stupid and start rushing him out there before he's ready with the hamstring, and then it lingers on all season. But they got one of the best lines in the game, the best running back tandems, and they got to get better on defense. And so, that's what they focused on in the offseason, is getting some help in that secondary. Because San Francisco had their way with them once they got that big lead and took it back over. They couldn't slow them down, but the pass rush wasn't as good as it was the year before. They need Hutchinson and Houston to get after the quarterback, and I think Kaminsky got hurt. He was a steady plugger, former Falcon that was a good. They salvaged his career up there in Detroit. So. Just a couple things. They got to tighten up the secondary and keep that offense moving. I'm hearing great things about Henderson too in the preseason. So it sounds like the Lions got a quarterback of the future and might be staying around a while in the elite club.
Yay!
Henderson, we
how
we
far
remember
do you
him.
see us going?
Well, I'm not ready to put y'all in the Super Bowl because y'all can't beat San Francisco. So that's the heavyweight in this in the conference. Until you beat them and the coach quit going for it on 4th down and calling crazy stuff. It worked all season, but at some point you gotta play smart and intelligent football. And he knew he blew it last year for the team, and so hopefully he grew from that. And if you can get San Francisco again, you got them on the ropes. Take them out this time.
I hope so.
They look good. Like you said, a lot of people got them in the top 5 as teams that should have the potential to go to the Super Bowl. They were very good last year. And for those people here in the Atlanta metro area, we got a good taste of Jahmyr Gibbs before he transferred to Alabama. He was outstanding at Georgia Tech. Absolutely outstanding. So yep. So no doubt, man, it should be good stuff. Who else would you pick in the NFC, D-Lab? You already mentioned San Francisco, Detroit. What are some of the other teams that you think, maybe two or three that you say, you know what, these guys could be trouble if things fall right for them in the NFC?
Well, Dallas, of course, people who get caught up on the playoffs, but they won 12 games the last 3 years. So I don't see them falling off. I don't see them falling out. They're 12-5 the last 3 years, so they're gonna be there. Can the Eagles fix their situation? Was it a 1-year wonder thing that they got all the way to the Super Bowl with? All those Georgia guys that have been drafted haven't been doing anything. So Big Jordan, Jalen Carter, and Kobe Dean, all those guys, hey, they're about to get run out of Philly. The Philly fans only put up with so much. So, but those are two teams up there. Then out west, well, the big division is Detroit, Green Bay, and Chicago. Chicago can make a leap. They've been quietly spending money and putting a team together. Now they got a quarterback. So, but Green Bay had a breakthrough last year, got back to the playoffs, spent some money on their quarterback. So those teams are, all in play, I think. The North is going to be tough for Detroit. I don't think the Vikings and Sam Darnold are scaring anybody, but everybody else is pretty tough. And then, the Rams and the 49ers in Seattle out there, everybody's going to be fighting it out. That's been the best division for a while, and they're going to be fighting it out again out there. But I think the Rams have the best team.
Man, Jason, my cameraman for high school football, and also done some work with me in the Super Bowls. He said definitely Green Bay, they could be trouble for them Lions.
They could be, but we got them.
I think it's gonna be a great football season. D. That it looks like I said again, the Falcons have all the potential to make a deep run into postseason. And here's the thing, as you know, the path has been for the Falcons before win the NFC South and get that home playoff win, and then who knows what can happen. All of a sudden, we can see the Falcons back again in an NFC title situation.
Yeah, no doubt. You don't see teams come off the mat from that, though, Reverend. You see it kind of building up. So let's get back to the playoffs and go from there. So, you don't see Green Bay didn't go right back. The Eagles kind of, they were building that thing. It's really hard to just put an all-star team together and go to playoffs. So
when we got Kirk Cousins. We got
Curtis won one playoff game, Reverend. Let's stick to the facts. He's won one playoff game. One. To get to the Super Bowl, you need how many?
You need
3. Right, yeah. So yeah, I don't want to dish all the hype, but let's keep in mind probably the Super Bowl quarterback is not gonna play this year. When they're ready to go to the Super Bowl, Kurt's probably not gonna be the quarterback.
Well, I think, D-Led, you have quietly stated what everybody else has seen in the camp and what the Falcons, I'm sure, saw, and even what I saw, because I actually picked Washington to go and win over the Michiganders. But, of course, that team was too well built, too tough, and on a mission, and they gave Mr. Penix and his crew over in Washington all they can handle. But when I watched him throw the ball, he could just spin it. And his touch on the ball, especially the deep ball, is incredible. I mean, that guy puts it right where you need to be, and you're talking traveling 40, 50, 60 yards in the air, and he's dropping it like a dime. So there's no question the Falcons have a potential future Pro Bowl quarterback in their mix right now. Well, like I said, it's going to be an interesting year. I think it's all going to be on how they start off. If they can be at least 500 after those first 4 games, that's going to be a tough out because I think you open up with Pittsburgh, right? And then you have is Kansas City right after them? Is that the next game or no?
Eagles Monday night, and then Kansas City. Then I don't have the 4th game right in front of me right now. That first 3 is enough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think game 4 might be New Orleans.
You got to figure out how to get one of those.
Right. Yeah, you can't go 0-3. That's not going to work.
Yeah, you gotta get one of them, and if you can get two of them, you're all on your way.
Right. Well, I think the first game is, to me, is critical because the game is at home. The storylines are all there, D-Led. I know as a sports writer, you love this. All the storylines. You got your former head coach who was just fired. He's the offensive coordinator. You have the hometown hero who everybody felt should have been maybe the Falcons pick at quarterback. He could actually be playing that game either as a starter or I'm sure at some point they'll run some type of plays for him. Yeah, man. So I think that's a game you really gonna have to win that game, especially since it's at home.
Yeah, no doubt. And then Raheem and Michael Tomlin are best of buds. Also go way back to Hofstra and William and Mary and so forth. So yeah, they talk every day, but they're not going to talk about the game leading up to the game because Tom was like, hey, I can't be praising him when I got to go play him in week 1. So
right.
But yeah, so a lot of storylines for this one. Justin Fields. Russell Wilson, it's not a lot. It hasn't been real smooth up there. But you know, the Falcons have been practicing great. But you know, they put a lot of stock in their joint practices with Miami, which they weren't tackling to the ground. So I don't understand that. But Penix looked great in that one, so they're gonna sit him down. So I just need to see him play football before we start putting him in the playoffs.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, you're right. I mean, they've been doing all of this kind of almost like flag football-ish. So no question, you kind of need to see what they're saying. You saw Ikelia's face; he was not joking, not smiling. He's, look, man, we got to put it on the grass. So I think we're all excited to see it, and I think that everybody's tired of this goofy system they have where you can't really play preseason games. Everybody's petrified somebody's going to get injured, and see that's why usually the first couple of games of the season really aren't that good.
Right, yeah, it's gonna be raggedy. Yeah, it's gonna be real raggedy, and you know that's just the way. That's the way they're approaching it. And the real crime is that they're charging fans full prices for these exhibition tickets. That's the real crime of it all.
For those of you who are wondering, on the black market, not black market, but on the secondary market right now, if you want to go to that first game with all the hype, the Steelers fans have drove the tickets up in the 300 section. Tickets are $200 for game 1. $200.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why
Cowboys
the Falcons
game.
sold out their season tickets because they got the Steeler fans, the Chiefs fans, and the Cowboy fans coming here. So the fans have bought their season tickets this year because they know they can make their money back on the secondary market. So
yes, sir.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I might have to prevail on that myself for 1 or 2 games. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no crime in that. There's no crime in getting the prices are high enough. You need to get some of your money back if you can.
Yep, because like I said, $200 right now is on the market for the Steelers game. The Dallas game, which I think is not until December, those tickets, same thing, high seats, 300. Those are already at $175.
I
So
can believe it.
they want all the money. Now, if you want to go to some other games, you can still get tickets for, up in the nosebleeds, like where we are, for that $50 range. But if you want to see the big boys,
300.
yes, sir. You got to pay that money. Let's go to my camera guy, Jason. He informed us that New Orleans is actually the 4th game. So, yeah, I mean, this season could go from 100 to 0 or 0 to 100 within 4 games.
They have a tough schedule at first.
Right. So Falcons mess around, come in here and go like 0-3 to start off or 1-3. Yeah, it's gonna be it won't be good. Yeah, they're gonna have to find some way to get some wins on the board. Well, D-Led, man, listen, I'm again appreciative of you for coming to join us. Like I said, this guy, you guys really don't understand what an honor it is, first of all, to have him on here because he is like the most in-demand guy I've seen. I'm like, and the thing about it is he's gracious enough to be on almost all of our podcasts. Then 92.9 wants me to come on 2-3 times now. Like I heard you on 3 times during the week. So man, we appreciate you doing all that and then doing your own, 9 on 9, doing all the stuff you do at ACC Sports. And then folks, just so you know, he travels with the team. It's not like he's home chilling. Like D-Led's everywhere. So, man, again, I just wanted to say
That's
thank
why
you so
he's a
much.
Hall of Fame sports writer.
That's right. That's right. And again, congratulations to you again, man. I know that again, while you're working and still in it, you can only reflect on it so much because you got to keep your eye on the prize. But like I said, man, I just know being an OG, I haven't accomplished anywhere near that kind of stuff. But when you get older, you really kind of look back and say, man, like we're here. Like, it's been a long journey, but we're here. So again, congratulations to you, man. And we just again appreciate what you're doing, both on your job and off your job.
Well, Reverend Simmons, I really appreciate your kind words. It's been a joy. I've been fortunate to find something that I had a passion for, and was able to do that and call it work. So been blessed in that regard, and very thankful. So really appreciate your kind words, and really appreciate coming on the show, talking with you and Miss Tree tonight. Miss my man Tyrone. I guess he's coaching, getting his flag football team ready.
Yeah, man. That's the treaty. Did he let you know? I thought he told you he's like the flag football coach. I was at Reinhardt College, I think it is.
Reinhardt, yes.
Yes.
They
He asked me to come and speak to his team yesterday, but unfortunately I could not. But I am going to go speak to his girls when my schedule prevails. But yes, I'm so happy for him.
He might drag her on the staff because when I tell everybody when they were down there for Super Bowl week,
they could throw the fade out to Miss Tree.
He already tried to. He said, "Hey," well, he didn't just say, "Hey, do you want to be on my coaching staff?" But he sent me a text like, "Hey, do you know any women that would like to be on my coaching staff?"
Right.
And I was, yeah. If I had the time, I would love to, honestly. But right now, my schedule is so jam-packed, and then with me being a caregiver to my father, I don't have the time. But who knows what'll happen in the future.
See, D-Led, he saw those clips, Tree falls under that bracket. Now they have the high school kids. They don't have a position. They call them ATH, athlete. That was Tree, bro. Listen, she got out there with the NFL wives. She had 2 touchdowns, 5 catches, a block, I think, interception. She's a one-woman wrecking crew. So Tyrone said, "Hey, why don't you come on out?" Oh, yeah, bro. She put it on, bro. She put it on. And I missed it, D-Led. I got the schedule wrong. I got there 2 hours after the daggone thing was already over. I couldn't record not one thing. Also mad. But yeah, Tree's a bad woman. Well, speaking of bad, guys, I know you're mad because we're getting ready to go. I see you guys logging on now because it's too late. But you know how we do it. We want to make sure that all of our guests and co-hosts let you know how they can find out more about them. So, Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Reverend. You can follow me on Twitter at DOrlandoAJC, and all our stuff's on AJC.com. And our Instagram is at DOrlandoLed. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir.
And please send me your Facebook so I can see the video.
Okay, we'll do,
and
Mr.
Hit it.
Oh, there we go.
There he is.
All right.
D-Led, thank you, sir.
All righty. Take care.
Congrats again.
And to the Queen, Tree Dolman, the floor is yours. And just letting you know that I still have not corrected international, still spelled wrong, but that's okay.
Hello, everyone. You can follow me on social media at Purple Diva 13, as well as Miss America International 2022.
Remember, one eye only.
Yes, with one eye.
The Queen has spoken. Damn, I'm back. Okay. So, guys, I just want to remind you again, we appreciate all those of you who watch on the broadcast. And we really do love you guys so much. Appreciate those of you who ask about the Queen when she's not here, or Tyrone, and just give me some congrats from being on the show. But I want to just do that I do every week. I want to remind you that as much as I do this and like this, I really am a real preacher. So as a preacher, I'm just going to ask you, please, if you do not know the Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, please, man, please circulate him today. Why? Because he loves you. And he showed his love in the most ultimate way possible. He died for your sins, but he rose from the dead. So here's the good news. If you repent of your sins and believe in him, 2 great things happen. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, ask him for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to a happy place, spectacular place called heaven, where there's none of the following: no pain, no pandemics, no bad people anywhere. You never get old. A senior citizen, think about that. You don't have no more pain. You never die. And guess what? You now get to be in this place where the buildings are adorned with jewels. The streets are paved with a gold that's so pure it's translucent. And you now get to see God, Mighty Yahashua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, in person, face to face. You can ask him stuff, those questions that you had. Why do you do this? You can ask him. And you can be with the people of love. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I just mentioned won't be there. It's dark, it's dreary, it's horrific, it's fiery, it's painful, and you're locked in with the devil and all his demonic hosts and all the worst people that ever lived upon the earth. I don't know about you, but I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time we get back together again, you know how we do it. We simply tell you, God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, whichever play applies. So long and take care.